Hi, welcome. On this video, I want to once again um, draw your attention to a book again I wrote back in 2011, okay, several years ago, but it's highly relevant to everything that's happening right now in the dog training world. And again, I would highly encourage you to check this book out. It's called The Mind and Body Connection. It's available exclusively through my website. And this book, when I wrote it, it's highly sourced out. Okay, it's I go through all of it. I break this down. In fact, I'm referencing many academics, but again, I talk about the problems where they all began back in 1923 in terms of with Pavlov, Skinner, the issue of what's called behavioralism, and you're seeing this being advocated today. But again, when you see where all the problems began, how everything was built off of this inherently flawed study by way of the science at the time, which again I talk about science challenging. Science is supposed to confront, okay, the real issue. Science is about change when the new information, okay, comes to light. Well, this never happened. Okay, understand that what is being promoted and marketed in the dog training world is not science. Okay, understand that. So I go through this. This book is highly sourced out. You're not going to see any other book out there explaining this the way I explain it. But again, I just want to highlight a couple points here. Again, my last video, showing, okay, going into Pavlov's, research notes, where, in terms of stimulus, okay, the greatest stimulus happening to, his experiment was a human research assistant who was removed, okay, from the experiment. There was right there. There was the moment, okay, that should have been like, instead of saying, hold on here a second, we need to really look at the social aspect of this dynamic in terms of dogs as social animals. There's clearly, how does that impact how a dog's decision-making process is governed and influenced? How does that tie into behavior at a social level? That was never done. Okay, so it was actually this whole situation of of certain criteria, but inherently flawed at the beginning. And so from there, moving forward, now the problems have existed. Okay, they've not gone away. They've gotten worse because understand now it's more because it's not science. So what is it? Okay, it's a belief system. Okay, it's not based on evidence. It's not based on fact. Okay, in fact, you go through here and you see how this all came about. You'll see how it was not, dogs were never studied that way, the way I talk about. But, but it's all there. You can connect all the dots, okay? And I show this over and over again. Coming out on the other side, I talk about a intentional interaction-based process. I show it. So here I want to read some of this here from my book, okay? And here it's talking about, again, this is coming from academics. I reference everything here in their words, okay? Only recently has it been discovered that dogs are interested in science for another reason. It appears that dogs have evolved specialized skills for reading human and social behavior. Here it is right here, okay? Special skills. They're pack animals, okay? Social. Here's what I'm talking about. I talk about the social connection, how dogs connect with us, other dogs, the humans at that level. And, if you own a dog, you sense that, okay, well, dogs are amazing. There's something else happening here. There's depth of relationship. So here goes on, it is conceivable that dogs may have evolved some special predisposition for interacting with, interesting, right? What's the system of training based on? Interaction based with and communicating with humans, okay? While recent scientific studies of dog and human interactions hint that a more complex level of communication is happening, between dogs and humans. The breakthrough moment remains in doubt based on this behaviorist way of thinking being deeply embedded into our scientific studies and academic institutions. So where's all, again, deeply embedded, all right? This is the problem here. Okay, never challenge, never confront it, right? But look at all the inherent problems, okay? You talk about deeply embedded, that's what I'm talking about. This is entrenched, right? But there's no incentive. Understand that trainers are not being incentivized because, I talk about the how dogs have become pawns now, and so when you get into the true motives of even these trainers who are marketing this inherently flawed idea of things, right? And the collateral damage of that, dogs being blamed. Okay, understand that it's become normalized. I mean, this is how bad it's become. And right here goes on. Modern researchers in animal cognition are in most cases firmly behavioralists in methodology. So the problem is, again, this is the problem. So you talk about behavioralism. Okay, again, it totally, and I showed that in the last video, where arriving at Pavlov's skin, arriving at this agreement that let's go this way, okay, because this is their idea of how to study through stimulus. We're not going to get into the psychology of things here. That was a fatal flaw. Okay, but I lay it out here point by point, go through all of it. So this is, again, this book I put out, again, this is several years ago. It's probably more relevant now than then, even more so. Yeah, but again, it's very clear. And again, this is highly sourced out, highly referenced. I wrote it several years ago. I encourage you to check it out. It's all right here. I lay it out, connect all the dots. There's nothing hidden. But again, you see where the problem started way back based again on Pavlov and Skinner. I talk about through behavioralism, where you end up, in a really bad place, okay? Because this is about, I talk about the, appreciating dogs for the amazing animals that they really are. But again, you see, several, academics here all alluding to saying, hey, there's more happening here. You're right, there's more happening. But again, understand that, in terms of what's happened here in the dog training community, but I show very clearly, hey, dogs share a very special connection with us at the social level. And I talk about, even defining, certain terms or certain things such as, dominance. I talk about that, how it's, reconciled through the relationship that way, through that connection. But again, in terms of its role, okay, in terms of changing perceptions of dogs, okay, how it's defined through, based again on, even when I talk about a motivator, okay, again, this is the thing that you have to apply critical thinking, but I talk about, the motivator is this social connection, okay, it's the relationship. And you see that, play out even back in 1923, where Pavlov, had to remove the research assistant because it was, getting in the way of how they were going to engage in their criteria for the study. So it's incredible. It's all here. Understand. So it's incredible to me. Understand that everything, the truth is right in front of people's faces. But the problem you're seeing now is because this has become institutionalized. This has become a culture. And so how do you back out of it? I mean, I say this, the trainers who are bought into this lie, because that's what it is, because when I say lie, this is not real science. Okay, it flies in the face as to even what many academics, are showing. But I connect it. Again, I put a study out on my website. You can find it there, involving over 1,000 dogs and owners. I put it all there. I show it, in terms of the social connection. So again, check out this book. It's available through my website. Thanks for watching.